For staying with us here at 8:30, we begin this half hour with the Highland Park shooter's life in prison sentence. The judge's ruling was handed down inside a packed courtroom yesterday. Robert Crimo III will serve 7 life sentences for the 7 people who died that day in 2022. He will also serve 50 years for each of the 48 counts of attempted murder charges that he faced. For one victim, she tells us the sentence offers some relief.
I don't have to think about him anymore. I don't have to worry about him anymore. And me and my husband and my daughter can continue to move forward, and I can continue to heal.
Crimo will likely be moved from the Lake County Jail at some point today. Well, the mayor of Highland Park, Nancy Rotering, is joining us live now. Mayor, welcome. Thank you for being with us.
Good morning.
We know you and the Highland Park community were really thrust into the national spotlight after this tragedy happened. We want to hear, what, if anything, does the sentence mean to you?
The sentence means accountability, and more importantly, it means that the individuals most acutely affected, the families, and our community can now start to move forward with our healing and on our journey without having to think about that guy anymore. It's over for him. And we have our lives to live. We have our celebrations to have, albeit some of them will be different, obviously missing those loved ones who were lost on that day, and obviously different in terms of the people who suffered grievous injuries. But for our community, it's now, let's move forward and let's continue to show the world our strength, our resilience, and the care that we've shown for one another throughout this journey.
Sure. It's hard to believe it's been so many years since this tragedy happened. As you said, it doesn't mean that some of these survivors are still not grieving from this. How do you continue to support the city and those who are still working through this, even though the court case part, that chapter is over?
Right. So we are still providing resiliency services. We have a resiliency division at City Hall. We are continuing to connect people with mental health resources. Obviously, something like this hearing is re-triggering and causing people to live in great detail, relive that hideous day. So we're here, and we always will be, to everybody who has experienced this trauma, to help connect them with the professionals who can work through the mental health challenges. And then we also as a community are putting together a permanent place of remembrance. It's not necessarily all about the memorial piece of it, but the remembering piece of it, and also the recognition of the city's strength and resilience. One of the survivors, who was in her 80s when she was literally shot in the face, said to me, "I don't want to remember the pain. Obviously, it's always going to be with me, but I also want to remember how strong this community is and how we all came together and continue to support one another." That's what we'll be working on as we move forward.
Mayor Nancy Rotering, thank you so much, as always, for your time and for your candor.
Thank you.